The sound was strange. A high, chirping noise coming from a nearby bush. As soon as her rescuer walked closer, a tiny kitten ran out toward her. She stopped just a few feet away, hissed once, and then everything changed. The moment she was picked up, she relaxed completely. It was like she had been waiting for this. She pressed herself against the warmth of a chest, almost saying, finally, I've been calling forever. The kitten was thin, thirsty, and tired. She was carried over to where her rescuer's things were, hoping to find something she could drink from. There wasn't a water bowl, but as the hose was turned on, water spilled onto the floor. The kitten rushed over and began lapping it up from the puddle. She couldn't stop drinking. A quick search in the car turned up an old frisbee. It was filled with water, and she went right back to drinking. There was cat food in the car, too, meant for another cat at home, and a handful was poured out for her. She ate quickly, not even pausing to look around. When she finished, she stayed close. She didn't want to leave the person who had found her. She climbed up to his shoulder and sat there, purring softly, not moving an inch. But there was still work to finish. This was at the place where horses were boarded, so she was gently placed in the tack shed for a short while. When the door was opened again, she came straight out and began following. Back and forth, across the barn, never more than a few steps behind. It didn't take long to know she wasn't going anywhere. She had chosen her person, and her person had chosen her. She was loaded into the car, tucked into a crate with a blanket, and lay quietly for the whole ride home. But once they arrived, the real work began. A closer look showed she was covered in fleas. She was given a bath right away. Wet, she looked even smaller, her big ears sticking out, making her look nervous and unsure. That night, she curled up and slept deeply, as if making up for all the restless nights she had endured. By the next morning, she was different. She was playful, full of energy, and curious about everything. She had no fear of the other cats in the house. She had no fear of the dogs either. At barely 2 pounds, she was already chasing a much larger dog around the living room. Her tiny frame didn't stop her from taking over. One of the first bonds she formed was with the resident SPHYNX cat. In one favorite moment caught on video, he gently pawed at her, and she pawed back before running away. It became one of the many little games she invented. Months passed, and she never lost that spark. She stayed the same feisty, playful troublemaker who could hold her own against any of the other animals in the house. Every day, she found a way to make her presence known, whether by starting a game, climbing where she shouldn't, or simply curling up for a nap in the middle of the action. Her rescuer thought about how lucky the timing had been that day, being in the right place at exactly the right moment to hear her cries. That's when her name came to mind. Charm. It felt perfect. She was a little bundle of luck, personality, and joy all wrapped into one. Now, months later, Charm still brings that same energy to the house. She's grown, but her fearless nature hasn't changed. She's still the kitten who will chase a dog twice her size, still the one who will start a wrestling match with the SPHYNX, and still the one who will follow her person everywhere. What started as a strange chirping sound in a bush turned into a forever home for a tiny kitten who refused to be overlooked. She had been out there calling for help, and the right person heard her. Sometimes, the best rescues happen in a moment you don't expect. For Charm, that moment changed everything. If this story touched you, give it a like and share it so more animals like Charm can find their forever families.